more recent years, we've watched ChatGPT explode onto the scene and really dominate the conversation in society. And this has caused a lot of people's like reactions to ChatGPT also be a part of that conversation. We had this episode with Eliezer Yudkowsky, who's famously an AI doomer. He's like, oh, AI is going to not just come take our jobs, it's going to come and take over the world, and we're all going to die as a result. And that was very, very shocking. And
sobering, I would say.
Very sobering, yeah. And we've seen society at large have this conversation with itself about, is AI good? Is AI bad? What will it do to us? Well, what will it do to society? And we seem to be going through this process of understanding and acceptance about the way AI is going to interact with us. Would you say that society is kind of following the same pattern you went through when you had your reflections about playing chess versus IBM Deep Blue or just computers at large? Is society at large going through the same process of understanding and reflection about AI that you went through? Is there similarities there?
There are similarities, but I had a personal experience. And again, in chess, we could see the machines rise to dominance, but also machines' limitations. So it was not accidental that the scalp of the chess world champion was the kind of Saint Grail for computer experts, because for a long time, top scientists believed that chess was it's like at a nexus of human creativity, intelligence, and this is that could be a key to reveal the secrets of human intelligence. It goes back to Alfred Binet, the father of IQ tests, back at the end of the 19th century, who was fascinated by chess players, especially those who could play blind chess. And he wanted to actually to open the brains and just to find out how these magic moves being made. And he was under the impression that that's the shortest cut to the secrets of human intelligence, general intelligence. And this belief has been inherited by great minds like Alan Turing, Claude Shannon, Norbert Wiener. So it's a widespread belief that chess is an answer. Again, it's happened on our part of the world, in our part of the world, because there are many other versions of chess, like shogi in Japan and other versions. But the European version of chess, was always like an ultimate test in the eyes of the scientists of human-machine encounter, and its machines, kept improving their performance. And as I already mentioned, by the 80s, we had something, a tangible force. So the deep thought, actually, it was the prototype of Deep Blue, because it was this team from Carnegie Mellon University that was eventually, went to IBM. IBM purchased the project, but they had the machine that had the first success back in 1988. So in 1989, I faced this computer, played 2 rapid chess games. It's, I think, an hour and a half, 90 minutes for a game, and I won quite handily. So back in 1989, but we could see the progress, and I have to say that we were fascinated, but we didn't even understand, this is how serious the threat was, because we already suffered some painful losses in blitz chess, 5 minutes chess, or rapid chess, 25, 30 minutes chess. But we were under the impression that it's not just because machines, would be better, eventually would be better than us, but because we had little time. If we had more time, we could think, just and avoid some stupid mistakes. Not understanding that if we have more time, machine has more time. And it's it's amazing that it's many grandmasters made this mistake. I lost to one of the computer programs in 1994, the rapid chess match. So it was 2 games in London. So then I played again. I beat this computer, but we thought it was it's something that it's good for exercise. It's good for preparation. But it should not, threaten our dominance in classical chess. So that's why the 1997 match was such a big shock. Though I have to say that for me, the first call, was if you may call it the watershed moment, was in 1996. I mentioned I won the match, but I lost game 1. So that was the first game where computer could beat seating world champion in what we call classical chess, 6 hours chess. And though I fought back, I won 3 games, and so won the match. But it's already somewhere in the back of my mind. I knew that we are on a losing track. So,
Yeah.
and after 1997, so I had to just, I had to think, what would come next to my beloved game. So whether, just we have to do something else, but not to play the game, which is doomed. And then I realized that, look, it's the machines could do a better job, and it would happen. Though we still competed for, I would say, about 7-8 years. I played 2 matches, not, of course, as publicized as IBM matches back in 2002, 2003 against, actually 2003. 2 matches against German program and against the Israeli program. It's Deep Fritz and Deep Junior. Both matches ended as a tie, but I knew the end was near. So it was a clear track. So this is like, writing on the wall. And that's why I came up with an idea of advanced chess that was a combination of human and machine. So that's how we can play together to get the best of two worlds. And I had time to ruminate about my games, my failures, so my accomplishments, and also looking at the machines. And I just recognized that while machines would keep improving, there's still limitations. And again, we can talk in more details about it, but these limitations, I don't believe can be removed, even if machines, could be as powerful as ChatGPT. So even if you talk about AI, because I still think that there's a certain elements of human nature, like creativity, that cannot be replicated for a very simple reason. Creativity means that you accept the notion of failure. This is not the way machines work. So the machine always looks for a bottom line. And again, they're all tiny things. What is very important for us to understand that if you look at the decision-making process as 100% and recognizing that there's no perfection of universe, no 100% can be achieved, it's about us finding our spot and stomping on our pride and saying, okay, we belong to last few decimal places. We have to find exactly where we can add something unique contribution to a machine that will make the combination of human and machine most productive. So that's why I think the future is not machines dominance. The future is us working with machines, and for those who are just trying to use only dark dark paint to show the future. I mean, my answer is, look, it's not a magic wand, but it's not the Terminator. It's not a free ticket to heaven, but it's not the key to unlock the doors of hell. It's it's human invention, and again, while it could outperform us in many areas, we still have this theme. It's not a control, but we still occupy a place that I don't think machines can take away from us. And again, it's so tempting, to follow the path of the Terminator movies and Matrixes. But actually, while I was a big fan of the Terminator back in the 80s and early 90s, I still didn't understand why machine wanted to kill people. So what for?
I mean, some in the community just basically say as a byproduct of consuming resources, they will crush and destroy all of humanity. So a little less like the Terminator vision and more like us squashing an ant because we're building a house or an ant colony. But and this is why I want to ask the question, because you've observed this before when Deep Blue came on the scene. I'm sure people were making comparisons to Terminator, right? And they were saying, oh, is this the end? Are humans kind of over? And something similar has happened, I would say, in the last year in terms of the public conversation. But it has felt like this new technology, ChatGPT, has been sort of a massive order of magnitude advance. And I'm wondering if you still, at its core, if you've had time to mess around with ChatGPT, if you still see it as, yes, I'm still seeing Deep Blue here. It's still doing the brute force. It's still not a human. It was interesting, Garry, I just asked while we were having this conversation, can ChatGPT play chess well? So according to ChatGPT, I asked ChatGPT this question. It says, I can analyze chess positions and chess moves, but my capabilities are not on par with specialized chess engines like Stockfish or AlphaZero. And then I asked it to answer the same question, but as Garry Kasparov, and it said, this is what you would say. While ChatGPT demonstrates a remarkable ability to process and generate language, its skills in chess are not comparable to those of a Grandmaster or a specialized chat engine. I don't know if that's something that you would say, but this kind of intelligence, the ability to have a conversation with a computer, this feels so new to us.
Yeah, I mean, look, I probably everything depends on the angle of observation. This is the glass is half, empty or half full. So that's actually, I view it from the other side. I think it's phenomenal because I think that machines, will unleash, more of human creativity because there's so many things can be done by machines if we know how to balance it. So we can start, inventing things because this is some of the wildest dreams can be reached. So they're within our reach. I mean, when we look at machines, so there's so many mysteries of nature, whether it's in deep oceans or in outer space, that we cannot unlock without computers. So while I'm not holding a crystal ball and not pretending to be Nostradamus to tell you everything will be perfect in the future, I think that again it's a new challenge. But as every challenge, it has threats, there are risks. But I think the benefits could be phenomenal. So we just have to stop debating, whether it's a mortal threat to us or not. Look, people have been debating about, machines' threat to our civilization for quite a long time. So you remember the Luddites in the UK, so 200 years ago, and I can tell you, who made actually the first speech, against the machines, again, we talked about, this is the primitive machines that, that could remove many people, from their workplace. Back in 1812, it was the maiden speech of Lord Byron, in British Parliament. Yeah, very eloquently arguing that against machines that could throw so many people into poverty. Of course, it's a stretch, but still, I think, it's this, certain things, we should probably, you can't abandon the discussion, but I don't think we should give too much emphasis. It's called progress. And progress, brings various things. Yes, it's always easier to talk about destruction because it's much easier to create nuclear bomb than nuclear reactor. So yes, and of course, first thing we think, this is what happens, the machines will go after us. I see it, just again, totally different angle. Fantastic, so now time, so many things we can do because a lot of work, this is the rote work, can go to the machines. So I tell people that if machines can do your work, so probably you should consider not about the machine, but about the work you're doing.
If you enjoyed all of that, then you'll absolutely love the Bankless newsletter. Join over 300,000 fellow readers, all for free. Click below to sign up.